Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Us at her room, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you have time, please give this video a thumbs up, pass it on to someone else who may need to see this, and if you have time, I would love to hear your answer to today's situation. I'm going to tell you about the situation and explain my thoughts on it, and I would love to hear yours in the comment section. So, a woman said to me she wanted to know more about soul ties. Now, soul ties or cords are a term that refer to being energetically connected to a person. You create a tie with every person you're around, especially if you're around them multiple times, online, on the phone, in person. Especially if you're close or sexual with each other, those ties are the strongest. That's why breakups are so hard for us, because those ties are very strong at that point most of the time. By the time we break up, it's usually years, or at least months, and you've been around this person all this time, and it's very painful to then pull the cords apart, to pull the energy apart. Those are the soul ties. So you create these with basically, like I said, anybody that you're around. So the question was, if there's a situation where you have to cut the ties with a person, does the other person feel the ties being cut? So sometimes, like I said, you create these ties with people, and sometimes it becomes necessary to cut them. Let's say you've created a connection with somebody who's abusive, for example. This happens a lot. And even though you've come away from the person physically, you still feel them emotionally. You still see them in your dreams. You can still feel them pulling and tugging you towards them. Maybe they didn't want to break up. Maybe neither one of you did, but you had to because of the circumstances. So in a case like this, a lot of people will do a cord cutting ceremony, a cord cutting ritual, a cord cutting technique, a soul tie, cutting a soul tie, they would call it, those kind of things. And the person that asked the question just wants to know, does the other person feel it? Now, this depends on how sensitive the other person is, because I've talked to people who've had a soul tie broken from them, and they might not have known before it happened, and they told me that they would have a weird dream about the other person, like the person leaving or sailing away or closing a door or something like that. A lot of them saw weird stuff like that. Some of them didn't have any kind of dream or vision or anything, but they could just feel like it's over. Like I can, like they just was like, I feel it. This is over. They didn't even know what happened. So in many cases, it depends on how sensitive the person is, if they're going to feel it or not. If you're dealing with a person who's sensitive and you go to do a cord cutting or a banishing or any kind of energetic severing, that person is going to feel it on a spiritual, emotional, inner kind of level. Now, if they don't believe in that kind of thing, or if they're not sensitive at all or something like that, it's iffy whether they'll notice or not. Because like I said before, the people that told me they noticed it were sensitive already. They were already sensitive to energy. So when it happened, they knew exactly what happened. Especially if they're, knowledgeable about energy work. So yeah, sometimes the other person can feel it depending upon their level of sensitivity. But that's still no reason not to do it. If you have a soul tie with somebody that is detrimental to your health and your well-being, if it's an abusive person or a person that you just not compatible with, or a person that's addicted, or a person that's harmful to your children or something like that, if it's that kind of person, we just go ahead and cut and sever the cord. You know, you feel it if you feel it. That's okay. Oh well, you know, I'm not going to be around you, so you're going to know that I'm not around. So now you know that I cut our energetic cord. And some people would be hurt by that or upset or offended or that kind of thing. But if you felt the need to cut the cord with them, I don't think you're really going to care about them being upset that you cut it. You know, I know I wouldn't. Some people might, you know, some people are more compassionate than me and they might care. Be like, oh God, I don't want them to know, you know, they might really care about it. But if I had to cut a cord with you, I don't really care if you know that I cut the cord. It is what it is. The cord is done. It's severed. We're done. So if you know that or not, I wouldn't care, but some people might. So yeah, it just depends on their level of sensitivity. And even people who aren't sensitive will sometimes notice something like that because they'll have a creepy dream. You know, remember I said people had told me about dreams about the one guy said he dreamt that she was sailing away on a boat. She was just sailing away. There was no words. There was no interaction. He just saw his ex sailing away. And he came to me for a reading and he asked me what the dream meant. And when I looked at the cards, the dream meant that she was gone. She was never coming back. The tie, whatever, you know, soul tie they had with each other, she had found a way to break it. And it had been years and years and years. And he was kind of like, you know, they weren't going to get back together, but he still didn't want to let her go. He still wanted to hold on to the soul tie. It still brought him comfort in some way. So when she severed it and moved on with her life, it was very painful to him. So he came to me to ask me, what does this dream mean? And that's what it meant. So it's not a bad thing. You know, you guys know my motto. Sometimes it's just time to move on. And you guys know, I always say that line from Meatloaf. And then you see that it is time to move on. Sometimes it's just time to move on. And for some reason, human beings have the hardest time with that. Aquarius have an easy time with it. I think that's probably why it annoys me. Because I'll be like, why don't you just move on, you know? And that's the thing. I can understand if something is very detrimental, if something is very serious, something is very hurtful. I can see you not having an easy time moving on. But it seems like to me that so many people don't even try. Like in the case with this guy, he was comforted by holding on to the energetic tie. And I'm like, let that girl go. You know you're not going back to her. You know you're not going to be able to work through the situation. Let her go. But he said he found comfort in holding on to the energy. And then was sad and frustrated when she cut the tie. And I was like, dude, let it go. Just let her go. It's time to move on. So yeah, sometimes they definitely can feel it. I would say more often than not, but there's absolutely no reason not to do it. If it's necessary, just do it and they're going to be all right. I swear they'll be all right. They'll move on with their lives and you'll move on with yours. Okay? All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Holla at me for a reading. If you want to enter the Patreon contest, you have one more day to sign up on Patreon. And tomorrow I'm going to announce the winner. Somebody's getting a free 60-minute reading, and I can't wait to see who it is. See you later.